What's going on, guys? Wade here. This is the most requested video I've ever had, which is how to actually clean a headstone. So today we're going to look at a very common marker that you'll see in cemeteries. That is our white marble headstone that is given to all service members at their request. This is Private Knowlton of the 47th Balloon Company Air Service, died September 5th, 1940. So when we're out looking at which particular headstones we can work on, we have to first think about what's safe to work on. We're going to need to inspect every single headstone before we get started cleaning. For something like this, generally speaking, there's not going to be any issues with them. They're one piece, so they're very stable. We're going to walk around the headstone to see if there's any issues with it. Maybe there's some cracks, some issues. You'll see there's a fine superficial crack here. That's not an issue, not something that we need to be worried about when we're cleaning. But something like this, if this was on an angle, this could be loose, and if we push too hard on it, it could rock and it could fall over. So we need to be careful with that. So the first thing that we need to think about is what type of stone are we working on? There's a number of different stones depending upon the area that we're looking at. In the particular area that I'm in, I'm really only ever going to see marble and granite. The military marker we see here is white marble. Something like this is going to be granite. This is also granite. Everything you see out there is basically granite. There's a few military markers that are white marble. If you're in older cemeteries, if maybe you're in the Northeast or East Coast, you're going to see a lot of different types of stones. You're going to see a lot more marble. You'll also see brownstone, sandstone, some soapstone. There's all different types of stones that were used over time. You're going to have gray marble and white marble in the region that I'm in. And then the granite comes in all sorts of different colors, and they import that from all around the world. So now we have to think about what type of cleaner we're going to use. All these cleaners act in the same way. They're quaternary ammonia products. We have D2 biological solution. We have the Akimi algae moss remover long life, and we have wet and forget. This is a ready to use product. These two are concentrates. This is a 1:10 ratio, and this is a 1:6 ratio. They function in a similar way. They're going to take a long time to clean. So they're going to kill the biological growth that's on the surface, basically immediately, and then they continue to act over time. So something like this, we're going to see marked improvement on day one, but this isn't going to continue to work for days, months ahead of time. So sometimes my before and after shots, it's a month, 2 months, a season, a year later when you see it. So the first day that you clean it, you're not going to have amazing results. You're not going to think you have amazing results, but it's going to be beautiful. But these all act in a similar way. This is sort of the original. This is the product that you're going to see most professional conservators using. This was the original that came to market, and these have come to market afterwards. This has the most testing that's been done on it, but this is what you're going to see most folks using. There's a handful of other products out there, but as long as you're using one of these products, you're going to be good to go. Any other product, like anything you're going to find at a hardware store, you're not going to want to use bleach, you're not going to use household chemicals, anything like that. Okay, now that we're back to our military marker, we're going to first respect the flag. We're going to pull this out. All right, then we're going to spray this down with our biological solution. I love using my pump sprayer, but a little handheld sprayer works just as well. You're just going to want to wet this surface. And then what you're going to see happen is you're going to see over 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to let this dwell, we're going to start to see blooms in here. And that's the biological reaction of your algae, mosses, molds dying. So you're going to start seeing here and here and here this kind of reddish orange streaking. And that's going to temporarily stain the stone. So don't worry about that. You didn't do anything wrong. You actually did something right. So we're starting to clean the stone. This is not going to look amazing day one, but we're going to have some staining here. We're going to let this sit here for about 10, 15 minutes. Okay, so we've waited about 10 minutes. We've got a really awesome bloom here. Now we're going to have to talk about brushes and how we're going to go about cleaning. The heavy growth on the top, we can leave it. We can just use our brush to clean it. We can use a plastic scraper, a soft plastic scraper. You could use a paint stir stick, bamboo skewers, things like that. I prefer brushes, and I prefer my paint scraper here. A couple different size brushes. You can use natural fiber brushes, you can use nylon brushes. The way I like to think about it is if you want to use it to use your day-to-day dishware at home in this kitchen sink, it would be similar to be able to use it here on a headstone. So don't overcomplicate it. You can get this at a dollar store. A couple different size brushes. I like different size brushes with different length of bristles depending upon the type of stone, how deep the inscription is, things like that. But at the end of the day, don't overcomplicate it. You can just get a cheap brush like this, soft bristle brush, natural brush, something like that. You're good to go. Outside of that, Water, lots and lots of water. It lubricates the stone as you're cleaning. You can dip it into a bucket, you can use a sprayer like this, but at the end of the day, just water. We've already put our chemical on here to kill the growth, and that will stay here for months. Now we need to scrub and rinse with water. We want to get the surface growth off. We are not concerned about what's below the surface. Stone is very, very porous, so there's going to be a lot of growth below the surface, and we will never be able to scrub enough with our scrub brushes to get that out. That will just die off over time with the chemical product. We don't even need to scrub. This will just disappear over time naturally because of the chemical that we put on that. You can scrub, but scrub the surface. Don't scrub hard enough to try and get the subsurface items out, because that's actually inside and embedded in the stone. And if you scrub too hard, you're actually scraping away the stone itself. You don't want to do that. Don't get over ambitious with this. So just a little light scraping here, get some of the surface off. I generally just jump right into my sprayer. Again, just water and a brush. That's really all there is to it. The part that's left, this will fade in the coming days, and then the black that you see here, that's mold below the surface. That's not anything that you're going to be able to get out by scrubbing. You should not try to get that out by scrubbing. Just leave it there. That will die off in time. You may need to retreat it with some more chemical. That's fine. I can expect that this stone will brighten up and be a pretty nice bright white in the coming weeks and months. So no problem there. We'll continue around and we'll do the rest of the stone, but that's really all it takes to clean a headstone. D2 biological solution, the Akini product, the long lasting product, wet and free at, soft bristle brush, water. That's it.